Yeah, I am your host for today. I am the Integrated Marketing Manager of iMatrix, and today's webinar is actually going to be on how to start 2014 off right. Before we get started, though, I wanted to go ahead and let everyone know if they are having any kind of technical issues, feel free to give us a call, 1-800-iMatrix. Let them know that you are trying to attend today's webinar and you're having some difficulties. They'll go ahead and help set you up properly. Also, if you aren't able to stay for the full webinar, we should probably get done fairly soon or fairly quickly. It should be about 30-40 minutes for the webinar, and then I'm going to leave some time open for questions and answers and things like that. In case you guys do have any questions, keep in mind, go ahead and type them out if you want in the question answer module. And what I'll do is I'll hold off on the questions until the end of the webinar. That way we can go ahead and get through it for those that can't stay to the end. And then I'll make sure to answer everyone's questions towards the end there. Okay. So again, thanks for coming. Thanks for showing up to this morning's webinar. Again, it's Start 2014 Off Right. And in today's webinar, we're going to go ahead and discuss what you need to include in your online marketing campaign to pretty much be successful in 2014. There's been a lot of changes, a lot of different tweaks with the algorithms, a lot of new algorithms, things like that. So we're going to kind of delve a little deeper into those. And with all the different changes that have been made in SEO and social media in 2013, your existing online marketing strategy will pretty much need like a little bit of an overhaul. For the most part, it'll be good to go. You don't have to reinvent the whole wheel, but there are going to be things that you need to kind of tweak in order to not really have yourself be affected in a bad way with a lot of the new changes. If you don't have a strategy, it is time to kind of put one together if you can. You need to get more business, help keep your business that you already have, and you know, in an effort to kind of help build the foundation for a successful marketing strategy for 2014, we're going to kind of go over a few of these steps here. So first step, obviously, is mobile responsive website design, social media as a marketing tool, video marketing to attract business, driving website traffic to get more appointments, and then also adapting to Hummingbird, which is the new update that Google has. It's actually a new algorithm altogether. So search in general is changed a little bit from what it used to be. A lot more people are actually let me stop real quick. Let's see, if anyone's having issues with the pin, I'm going to go ahead and type it out to all. That should be the pin in order to hear me. If you can't hear me, feel free to give us a call, and we'll see if someone can help set you up. So mobile is the future, basically, of search. I mean, a lot of things, even Google has admitted it themselves, that mobile is kind of the way to go. A lot of people are actually searching on their phones now, on their tablets. They're on the go. They're busy. They don't necessarily always have a computer to sit down and search. And a lot of the phones out there, a lot of smartphones and tablets are built that way in order to keep you mobile and keep you going in your everyday busy life. And that's going to be kind of what's essential to a lot of the searches now. And so Google's kind of seeing that, and they're noticing that, again, 40% of all the mobile searches on Google have a local intent. So when someone's searching for something, they're usually trying to search for something local, something that's around them, kind of like what Yelp does. Yelp has actually been really good at that, and they tend to focus really on local results as well. Responsive design, getting found online, those kind of things. It is one of the fastest growing trends in online activity. More and more consumers are turning to their mobile devices to search on the internet. And what's even more significant is that they're using these mobile devices to search for local businesses. This means the user can search for an optometrist or a dentist or a chiropractor or a veterinarian on their smartphone. And hand in hand with the mobile trend is also the multi-screen trend. So consumers are no longer just using their smartphones on their computer. Now they're using tablets, again, you know, laptops, TVs to search for. They got a lot of smart TVs on now where you can actually do searches from your TV itself, you know. So a lot of people are actually starting to kind of pull away from just the desktop or just the laptop, and they're actually using things that are pretty much anything that's around them. A lot of everyday devices that are either in your home, in your car, or just around you in general. Now they have a watch. You know, Samsung came out with a smartwatch where now they're starting to sync other devices up. So things like that are kind of what's going to start happening, and it doesn't necessarily happen within 10-year span. Sometimes it can happen within a year to 2 years. Things have changed drastically in the last just in the last year itself. You know, so Being ready and being prepared for certain things like that and just making sure you're not kind of left in the dust is going to be definitely beneficial for you, as well as, those that in the past, before internet was as big as it is now, when everyone was just using the yellow pages or whatnot, out of nowhere, it just kind of seemed like this big boom of the internet, and everything just started going digital and online. So it's kind of the same thing. Now internet's kind of taking another leap forward, and they're going outside of just being stuck to your device at home on the PC or on a Mac, and being able to use other devices around you as well. So just kind of like a little bit of an example, if a consumer, let's say, searches for a local optometrist on their computer at work, when they're on their way home from work, they can search again on their phone, and they can pretty much immediately call and make that appointment. It's one of those things where before in the past, I remember just to even get directions, I had to go to MapQuest and then print out the directions, and then take them with me before there was GPS. It's one of those kind of things. So a lot more things are becoming mobile, and it's just a way to be prepared for that as well. It is kind of essential that your website does adapt to show the most user-friendly version of your website based on the device that it has. So being mobile-friendly as well is very important, and making sure that you have a responsive design, which responsive basically means that when you shrink the window down, it shrinks the images, and it kind of moves everything around so that it fits that particular size. You can actually see yourself, if you're interested in what a website will look like on a phone or on a tablet. You don't necessarily have to just look on the tablet. You can actually just take your browser and shrink it down, grab the corners of it and just shrink it down to certain sizes. And if it's a responsive site, you can kind of see it slowly reposition itself. The design, the modules, all this other stuff will start to do that. And that's actually something that's going to be mobile friendly. And the reason it's called mobile friendly is because on a tablet, if you're looking at a huge website that you normally see on your computer at home, it's going to look a lot different on your tablet, or a lot different on your mobile phone, especially on a mobile phone. You might have to scroll around a lot just to get everywhere, as opposed to having it already mobile ready to where everything's essentially just a finger touch away. So again, that is called responsive design. If the website doesn't load properly on a consumer's phone, then you might miss attaining that consumer as a new appointment. Some people do tend to get a little frustrated, and so sometimes they don't want to even bother with it, and they'll just go to the next website. So trying to have a responsive design or mobile-friendly website is definitely essential, as well as if you don't have certain elements mobile-ready, make sure that at least the appointment request button is available, contact information, all the essential stuff, so office hours, those kind of things. As long as those are actually available, then that is something that will still benefit you if everything else isn't responsive. So keep that in mind. Social media, again, is very important. I don't think it's ever going to really go away. It's a great way to have free PR. I mean, if you want to expand your market or expand your reach in your market and expand your clientele, social media is the best way to do it because it's free, and there's so many people on it. I mean, again, Facebook's got about 1 billion people on there. 48% of Facebook users check their accounts more than once a day. So out of those billion people, I mean, they're pretty much on it. Half of the people are on it every single day, at least once. That's a lot of people. I mean, obviously, I'm sure if you even had a minor percentage of that, I mean, it would be amazing, So it's one of those things where it doesn't just reach out to your current clients. It has a potential to reach out to their friends and family, which then could be potential clients of yours as well. And this is something that you definitely want to kind of trigger. You want to delve into that gold mine. It is one of those things that will definitely benefit you in the long run if it doesn't benefit you at the very moment. Twitter, again, is one of those other social media platforms that you can actually tie in with your Facebook and have your posts directly tie into your Twitter post as well, so that way you can hit 2 birds with 1 stone. It is the fastest growing demographic between 55 to 64-year-olds, which a lot of people don't realize. A lot of people think social media is just for the younger generation, when in actuality it's the older generation that is using it as opposed to the younger ones. Everyone else seems to be using Facebook, Twitter, and everything else for their business. Google Plus as well. 60% of the Google Plus users log in every day. Most of the time when people are on social media, they have all the social media platforms. I know I have all the social media platforms, and again, like I mentioned, they do have devices or apps or anything like that. I mean, it's pretty much everywhere, whether it's your desktop or your mobile phone or your tablet, where you can make multiple posts, or you can make one post and it goes on multiple social media platforms. So that's kind of why people have all these platforms and not just Google Plus or not just Facebook. Some people do just have Facebook and they don't have the other. So that's why as a business it's important to have all three. You want to make sure to maximize that potential. And even though it might hit the same person on all three, if you can actually hit people that don't have all three and only have maybe just Google+, then it's actually a win situation for you, because then you'll be able to do less work but reach out to more. So social media, again, still has kind of like a stigma as time-wasting or fruitless activity for most business owners, which is understandable. It is kind of time-consuming. About 5 years ago, this probably would have been true, but with the absolute integration of social media into pretty much everyday's life, this view is making businesses appear out of touch. If someone goes to a business page on social media and they see that that person or that business isn't really keeping up to date with it, then they might think the business also isn't keeping up to date as a business in whole. Now, that doesn't sound very reasonable, but that's actually reality, and that's just how people are. I know if I go to a business or I search for a business, and let's just say I don't see a website, I tend to discredit the business itself just because of the massive influence that a website will have on me, as well as I'm sure other people, regarding information about the business, if they're selling something, about different prices, reviews, things like that. I mean, it's a whole wealth of info. And just to kind of put it in an example, it's like a blind date. When you go and you are going to a new business you've never been to, you have no clue if they're good or not. I'm just going to use a mechanic, because mechanics tend to have kind of positive and negative. They're like mixed reviews. I know when I'm looking for someone, I have to find out if it's a good place to go to. I don't want to go and get haggled or mistreated or anything like that, or pretty much have them gouge my wallet, you know. I'm going to look and see if they have a website. If they have a website, then I can kind of get a little bit more of a feel on what they have. If they have social media, that's actually even better, because that lets me see how other people react on it. That gives a chance to have kind of an open mic and let people see inside the business as far as the consumer's point of view, and they might leave reviews on there, and they might have testimonials and things like that. So having social media is kind of the frosting on the cake, and the cake itself is the website. So incorporating them together, I think, is very beneficial, and it's really imperative to your overall strategy. We do have additional studies that actually found that 80% of online users do prefer to connect with brands and businesses on social media. And not having an active social media presence that engages followers tells potential clients or patients that you aren't really with the times, that you're outdated, kind of like the whole website. If you don't have a website but you have yellow pages still, not really a lot of people use the yellow pages still. So it's kind of the same thing with social media. Not having a website is, again, a major turnoff to a lot of consumers. I know it is for me, as well as not having social media presence. So tying those together, I think, is going to be a huge chunk of your plan. Taking advantage of the networks, again, like Facebook, Twitter, Google+, those are the three big hitters for social media. To connect with your followers and potential new business, it's a great way to get a quick word out on social media to a large group of consumers. And again, I think you definitely want to benefit from that. When it does come down to posting on social media, make sure you optimize your posts with hashtags, locations, names, and everything like that. If possible, hashtags actually make your posts searchable, and optimizing posts will make them even more likely to search or to pull up on search results. If anyone doesn't really know what a hashtag is, a hashtag obviously is the pound sign or numerical sign. Usually when you post that, and then you post maybe just a snippet, you know, if it's a chiropractor and you do, you know, hashtag back pain or hashtag car accident injury, something like that, that actually can kind of starts a trend where someone can click on it, and anyone else that actually hashtag that will actually pull up in a result that way, and it actually helps to encourage the results pulling up in a search engine results page. It's a great way to kind of make things viral if you have a certain post that you think it's funny, especially for the holidays, something like that, just to kind of help to gain your presence, to help gain more viewers. That's going to be helpful as well. And hashtags actually, I believe, started in Twitter. Twitter actually is the one who they started doing a lot of hashtags, and then it kind of went into other different social media platforms like Instagram, and then obviously people start using it in Facebook because Facebook bought out Instagram. Google Plus uses it as well, and Google Plus, it's very essential just because of the fact that it is owned by Google, of course, and then they do incorporate a lot of their Google Plus social posts with their social media, or sorry, with their search engine page as well. So If you have a lot of things that are trending on your Google Plus page, there's a more likely chance that it's going to pull up in a search results page as well. And then last but not least for social is the big hitter, which is YouTube, the second largest search engine out there next to Google, and of course Google owns YouTube. Reason being is because some people don't want to read something when they're trying to search for something, how to fix a tire or tie a tie, or I don't know, whatever it may be. If they're searching how-tos, I know there's a lot of different tutorials on YouTube. It's easier to watch a video as opposed to just read a huge page about it. Now, some people are different. They want to read a page about it, but a lot of times people just want to see a video because you get a lot more words out in a video than you can in a whole page, I'm sure. So, again, there's about 1 billion unique monthly visitors to YouTube, obviously per month. Now, there's a lot more searches, I'm sure, that are being done, and I actually go on YouTube a lot just to search for different things, and I'll look at different things in the market and just kind of find whatever's out there, and it's a great tool to kind of just see what's trending and what's out there and what's happening now. And you can also kind of see, if you're interested, how maybe competitors are doing, on YouTube, and just kind of give you an idea of what they're doing, if something's working for them, or maybe things that you want to do different from them. It's always a great way to utilize it because YouTube can be pretty much viewed by anyone, and it gives you a free open window to see how everyone's doing it. So, again, one-to-many solution, Facebook's a great way to do that. You want to hashtag your optimized posts. Make sure, again, like you can see here in this example, hashtag social media marketing if someone's interested in social media marketing. And again, having a posting calendar. If you have a calendar on your website, or if you have something in your office on when you're going to be posting, that way at least you can kind of keep an eye on how often you post and to keep it consistent. That is one of the biggest things that you want to do, is make sure that you keep the posting at least a little consistent. So video kind of ties in a little bit with social media, and that's going to be our next topic here, is video marketing and how to attract viewers with the video marketing. Again, 60% of online users do watch video before reading text. Kind of a point that I was making a little bit earlier. People will probably be more likely to watch a video as opposed to just read a whole page. Kind of why some people want to watch a movie as opposed to read the book about the movie or whatnot, There's people that do want to read the book, but a lot of times people just, let me just watch the movie. It's going to be quicker, it's easier, I can consume it better, whatever it may be. It's going to be the same thing when it comes to online searches. People are going to be watching videos more so than text. And it's not really that difficult to incorporate like it used to be into your online marketing plan. Tremendous improvements in video quality, smartphones, tablets, other devices actually make it possible for anyone to shoot a high-definition video. A lot of cameras nowadays on phones tend to be HD video, even if it's just 720p. That's perfect. Additionally, the accessibility of video sharing sites like YouTube, Vimeo, and Metacafe also make it pretty easy to upload, edit, and share videos. In addition to the popularity of video among online users, according to research, video can convey more memorable information in a short amount of time. So basically in a time when consumers have a lot of distractions, you're busy, you don't have a lot of time to kind of just sit down and do things, read a page or an article, whatever it is, it is kind of important to reach them efficiently in a manner and a medium that they prefer, which again would probably be video. So for 2014, I'd say your strategy, you should create a schedule of videos maybe that you'd like to make on different topics. Plan it out ahead a little bit. You don't have to plan out the whole year. I would say if you want to plan out month by month or do it by quarter, that's probably going to be best. Determine a reasonable timeline of when you can complete them, and probably stick to something such as like once every 2 weeks or maybe once a month, something like that. That will actually help you to stay on track, and it won't be overwhelming, and it'll at least let your client base know that you're kind of keeping up to date with it. Once you do create the video, make sure you upload it to your business's YouTube channel and optimize it with the proper keywords and descriptions. Share the videos on social media using the built-in feature in YouTube as well. YouTube actually has awesome features where you can share it with a lot of different social media sites. You can go ahead and share it on, it'll be on Google Plus, of course, on Facebook, and other platforms as well. Twitter now accepts video also, so it's something that you can definitely benefit from. And I would definitely take advantage of it. If you have any time to do some videos, definitely do that. It does take a little bit of time to get started, but once you do get started, it's pretty easy, and your users will definitely benefit from it. Your clients will definitely benefit for it. So if you've already kind of have all that stuff, if you have video, you have social media, the next step is pretty much to drive more website traffic to try to help increase the appointments. If you're not using pay-per-click ads to drive website traffic, it's probably time to get started. It is kind of one of the things that a lot of people are doing now. If you're not doing it, I guarantee your competitors are probably doing it as well. With Google's expansion of encrypted search and increased privacy, it's kind of difficult to get keyword data unless you have a PPC campaign. So what that means is Google's encrypted a lot of the searches so that it's hard to see what keywords people are searching for. Pretty much it pulls up a result that just says, not provided. Really difficult, really frustrating, and the only way that you can kind of get around that is looking at all the other metrics. Now, Google Analytics has a ton of metrics that you can look at. It's never ending. There's never a dead end. There's always somewhere else to turn that you can look at data. But as far as the keywords go, it does tend to be a little bit more difficult. So the only way that you can actually really gauge the keywords and see how they're performing is through an AdWords PPC campaign. AdWords PPC campaigns basically allow you to see, depending on which keyword you're using, which one actually gained traction, which one converted from that specific keyword, from the keyword that someone typed in or the phrase that someone typed in with those keywords in it. It gives you access to helpful keyword research data, the ability to target those keywords, those kind of things. They also have enhanced campaigns, which should also be a part of your 2014 strategy, which can save you a little bit of money and increase your ROI. Enhanced campaigns actually enable you to target users on certain devices and zone in on certain areas. So if you want, you can actually target specific areas of where you're located. If you're in a very heavy metropolitan area, if you want to target other places outside of your area, or if you're in kind of like a no man's land and there's not a city for a few miles or a lot of residential areas for a few miles, then you can actually target outside of where you're at. And it really gives you flexibility on where you can target. If you know certain areas have heavier population than other ones, you can target there. Kind of like what we have right now, we're in a very heavy industrial area where there's just a lot of businesses. There's not really any kind of consumers. If we were a small business that wanted to reach out to consumers, we'd have to target outside of our area. So AdWords PPC and enhanced campaigns actually help us do that. And last but not least, remarketing. So remarketing actually is kind of also considered retargeting, but it should be another component of your strategy for PPC in 2014. It actually enables you to essentially continue marketing to online users after they have left your website without completing a call to action. So a call to action is pretty much filling out a form or click here for more details or anything that's like kind of like a catch line, like a grab your attention. Sign up today or time. It's kind of like all the Black Friday stuff. I'm sure everyone's seen a ton of Black Friday stuff recently. Sale ends soon or come in before 9 o'clock today. Whatever it may be, it's a call to action. It's a request to have you create an action to do something. If they haven't done anything like that and they went to your website and they didn't do any of that, just because of the fact that they actually entered your website, or let's say they clicked on an ad or whatever it may be, when they leave your website and they go to another website that's a sister website or a partner website, I should say, of Google, which I would probably say 90% of any website out there on the internet is probably a partner website of Google, it's going to show your ad. Now, the retargeting is either you can have like text, or for the majority of the reasons, it's going to be a image ad. And image ads actually are, if you go to a website and you see an ad just pop up, that's just an image or like a flashy kind of thing on the side or whatever, it's like a little banner ad, that's probably going to be, that's a display ad, and that's probably going to be retargeted. If you go to another website, or if you notice you were searching at cars, let's say you're on Ford or Chevy or something like that, one of their websites, and you go to another website, you say, I'll buy a car later. You go to another website and you start seeing ads pop up for Chevy, start pop up for Ford, you're actually being retargeted. There's nothing bad about it. I mean, it's not like you need to be scared or concerned. It just means that they realize that that's an interest that you have and that they're going to continue to kind of market it out to you. One website that does this a lot, and a lot of people actually don't realize it, is Amazon. Amazon.com, when you go to Amazon.com, and the funny thing is they actually remarket on their own website for their own products, which is actually pretty smart. So what will happen is, since Amazon is so vastly huge and they have so many different types of products, I mean, you can buy cars on Amazon, that whenever you search for certain items, let's say you leave that website and you come back the next day and you go back on there, it'll actually start showing you likely items or items that you already looked at on the home page. It'll actually know the type of interest that you have based on the searches that you provided them previously in the past, probably within a 30-day period or whatever they set it to. And that way when you go back on there again, you can start seeing things that you were interested in before or things that you liked before, and that way it kind of caters your shopping experience. They do that they do it very well, and actually I didn't realize they did it for the longest time until I started seeing things like, wow, they have sales on things I actually need, or this is actually what I was looking for. And I started realizing, wait a minute, they're retargeting me. So they do it very well, and again, it's a very powerful tool. It's something that is definitely a good benefit to increase ROI. We do provide that kind of service here. If you're not sure how to get that started, we also have videos on that. If you go to our YouTube channel, you can go to iMatrix.com. You'll see a YouTube icon on the very top. You can click on there. We have a lot of different recorded webinars, recorded videos. Every week we have videos going out for different things that happen with Google retargeting, their algorithms, PPC ads, things like that we can definitely help you out with, or that you can kind of learn on your own. So remarketing is a huge part of PPC, and I definitely encourage you to read up on it or look into it because it will help to, if they don't convert the first time, it'll help to get them convert later down the line. So one of the biggest things, and this is one of the last topics we have, is probably the biggest one. It's the Hummingbird update. Hummingbird update is not even really an update. It's an update, but it's not an update in itself. It's an update in the fact that it's a new algorithm. It's one of those things that it's kind of like Panda or Penguin. I don't know if anyone ever notices, but Google likes to name things funny. They've had sorry, I just combined it. They had Panda and they had Penguin. And then they have Hummingbird, so there's a lot of different weird names for it. I know if you have an Android phone, they name things like, ice cream sandwich and honeycomb, and, Kit Kat, those kind of things. So Hummingbird is the newest algorithm they have. Hummingbird is actually one of those things that is really heavy on user intent. What is the user actually searching for? Algorithm actually focuses on creating distinctions between things like definitions of terms, local businesses, how-to videos, etc. And rather than returning results with one or two words from a query, it focuses on returning results that contain the entire phrase entered in the search bar. So if you're already creating a custom written content for your website, you should probably be mostly adapted for Hummingbird. If you aren't, now it's probably the time to start writing your own web pages, blogs, etc. A great idea is actually to create a frequently asked questions page. So if you have kind of like a FAQ page, if you're a chiropractor, maybe you can start throwing out questions on why is chiropractic important, and then throw a little answer below it. And then the next one would be, what do I do if I was in a car accident, and throw a little answer below that. Those kind of things. Or with a veterinarian, how do I, treat this, or how do I brush my cat's teeth, or just certain questions that come up all the time. And I know you guys can probably think about it if you sat down for a second and start jotting them down on paper. There's probably tons of questions that people always ask, and so that's actually something that's going to benefit you from the new algorithm update. If you create a page just called FAQs or frequently asked questions or anything like that, and you just start jotting them down, and you can do 20, 30, whatever it may be. I probably wouldn't go into 50 or 100. I'm sure that's going to be a little too long, but when you have those kind of things, have a question, throw 2 or 3 sentence answer if you need to. That is good content. That's actually something that's going to help with your website get searched a little bit more, because people are going to start typing in questions like that. There's actually a website that was bought out. It's from Ask. It's askjeeves.com, and Google actually, I believe, bought them out, or at least they're powered by Google now. I think that's kind of where this came from. When Ask Jeeves first came out, askjeeves.com, they were actually focusing on, instead of people typing in keywords, because everyone was on the keyword game at the time, they were focusing on phrases and questions. And Jeeves, which would be like your online butler in a sense, would return results based on those questions. Well, that's kind of where Hummingbird comes into play, and that's kind of what it expands on, is people start asking questions. And not only that, it's also Siri compatible. So when someone's searching for something on their phone or on their device, and they're not actually typing anything in, they're just asking Siri, for instance, they ask it in the form of a question. So there's a lot of different things that kind of come and tie here, and Hummingbird's actually going to be something that is definitely beneficial for you if you can get started early with it. Pages that really answer questions like, again, why should I visit a chiropractor? Why do I need to see a dentist every 6 months? Those kind of things. They do actually have a better chance at ranking and getting online users to click through to the website itself. This does also include social media, as well as some SERPs are actually returning social media posts and blogs shared on social media. So keep in mind, the search results page when someone's searching for you isn't just going to be based on your website. It's also going to pull up your social media. And again, the more social media you have, like Google+, Facebook, and YouTube, or YouTube as well, it's kind of considered a social media, but Facebook, Twitter, and Google+, then it's going to give you a higher chance to be searched, as well as if you have these FAQs on your website, it'll definitely help benefit you as well. So again, social media presence, video, PPC, and then overall SEO intent on your website and content is one of the biggest things you can do for a 2014 marketing strategy to get started off. Again, things are going to change throughout the year, and we're definitely going to have webinars to help keep you up to date with that. So if you have any kind of questions, feel free to go ahead and toss them in. Again, I want to thank you guys for attending. I'm going to go ahead and stay for another 10 minutes or so and answer some questions if anyone has them. And again, this is something that you should definitely consider to do early and start early, is create your strategy, implement it. That way you're ahead of the curve and you don't have to feel like you're behind, because when you're behind, it feels like there's a lot more work to kind of do. So let me go ahead and get some questions here. I'm going to go ahead and help you guys out there. I do have a question here. It says, is it helpful to use hashtags if we don't have a Twitter account? Example, hashtag small business Saturday. It definitely is, because of the fact that Twitter did start with the hashtags, but it's actually transferred over to other social media platforms. Facebook uses it. YouTube, I believe, uses it as well, but Google Plus uses it, definitely. Google Plus is going to be one of those big things that before it wasn't as big in the past, because Facebook was just this huge 800-pound gorilla, but Google Plus is actually increasing each and every day, each and every year. It's increasing more and more and more. And keep in mind that I always recommend, personally, that if you have a new page of content, feel free to post that. You can just grab the link in the URL of your website, post it in a post in Google+. What it'll do is it'll kind of post it like it's an article, and then you can just write a little blurb, like if you have a new page, like let's say you're a chiropractor and you have a new acupuncturist, or you're a dentist and you now provide teeth whitening or whatever it may be. If you have a page on it, you can actually announce it that way to social media and just type in, now providing teeth whitening, and then you can do like hashtag teeth whitening, or if it's a vet, hashtag animal boarding, or whatever it may be that you're offering, and then you can post that link in the post, and it'll actually help to get that page indexed faster. Google actually considers Google Plus to be a social media site that will also help to increase your rankings going forward. A lot of people tend to be logged into their Gmail account or other accounts or YouTube. They're all tied in, and most of the time when it's on their phone, if you have a Gmail on your phone, then you're logged into Gmail all the time on your phone. So when you're searching on your phone, you're getting personalized results through Google when you're searching for stuff. It's not going to be probably the same as if you were to search it on a laptop or a computer at home where you're not logged in. So keep that in mind as well. That's actually where social media helps. If they like your page on social media, if you're hashtagging, then that's definitely going to help out as well. And they're going to see you a lot more likely. They're going to see you on their mobile phones and their devices. So great question. Thank you, by the way. Let's see. Again, yeah, we are recording this. If you guys aren't able to, if you missed some of it, we're actually going to be sending it out to everyone that registered. So if you're here, you're definitely registered, and you're going to be getting it later. Here's a great question. So we don't have any of these social media sites, Twitter, Facebook, or YouTube, etc. What should I do first? Definitely, I would consider to have a Facebook first. Facebook is going to be one of those things that, again, there's at least 1 billion people on there. That's going to be the biggest place, the biggest party you want to attend. So you want to definitely go there and create a Facebook business page. In order to have a Facebook business page, you need to have a Facebook personal profile. And if you already have Facebook for yourself, then it's easy to do. But other than that, they step you through the whole process. We can actually help you out with that as well. Just give us a call. We'll help kind of get you set up through that and get you easily set up and started. It's fairly quick once you do. And the only thing I can recommend if you want to prepare to get it created is take some pictures of the practice. If you want to take a picture of if you have a logo, maybe just inside the waiting area, whatnot, just outside the building so they can kind of get an idea of what the building looks like, those kind of things. That'll get you prepared so that when you create it, you can already update it with your profile picture and your banner picture, and that way, even if you don't have any posts or a lot of posts at all, then at least you look like you have it set up, and then just link it to your website, and you should be good to go. After that, I would probably say YouTube, just because it's connected with Google, and then probably Google Plus would be the next best bet. So this question is actually going as well. Do you have a template for questions and answers within the website tools that our viewers could fill in the blanks and submit via email? Unfortunately, we don't. That's actually a good question, and that's something I can probably bring up with our developers. We don't have a template for it. Reason being is because you don't want to have the same question and answers as as the person across the street. Now, keep in mind, they're going to probably have the same questions and answers, or they're probably going to have the same questions. As far as the answers to be filled out, I know you guys would probably be filling those out separately. We don't currently have a template for it to have a question and answer template. That is something that definitely would be a good idea. But sometimes we kind of want to have you guys, encourage you guys to think of certain questions and probably differentiate them between the person across the street. Although a few of the questions might be the same, they're probably going to be different questions based on the services that you provide as well. So. To help adapt to Hummingbird, do we just need to create a FAQ page somewhere within our current site, or do we need to purchase another URL address and link it to our homepage? Do it within your current site. So create a page within your current site, because if you purchase another URL, that's not going to really benefit much. It's going to benefit that URL. It's not going to benefit your current URL. You want to definitely link it within your current site. Just create a brand new page, have it be separate, and just throw in some questions in there and throw in some answers right below it, and you should be good to go. Is hashtag a link? Hashtag can be a link. It depends on the platform. If you just put it on your website page, it's not a link. It's not going to hashtag because your website itself isn't a social platform. It's only really for social platforms because they're all tied together. So even though you have a separate profile from everyone else on Facebook, Facebook platform is tied together. So when you hashtag it, it'll basically take you to all the different posts that hashtag it as well. Same thing with like Instagram. Instagram's huge on that as well. If you know what Instagram is, it's an image social site where you post something, you put a hashtag, and when you click on that hashtag, you can see all the people's photos that have that hashtag as well. So definitely use hashtags on social media, but it wouldn't really necessarily be on your website or the FAQs. Great question here. Okay, so our office is moving in January. When should we begin to change our address for social media and online directories? I would honestly, if you're moving in January, let's see, it's December, I would probably wait a little bit until January. The thing is, I mean, unless you have, that's a good question. I would probably wait until January because of the fact that it really depends on how quick you actually can move your location. Regardless if you do it now or in January, it's not really going to matter. The problem is if people start searching for you in online directories and you put your new address, that's going to cause an issue and they're going to go to the wrong place. For social media, what I would do, and this is something that I've done with other clients before, is just prepare people for it. If you want to put something like a notice on your website or a notice on social media saying, hey, we are going to move in January to this location, you can see us there. That actually definitely helps. You can put maybe a little map. That way they can kind of see where it's at, if it's too far, if it's not that far at all. But I would definitely hold off on all of that until you actually move to that location, just because of the fact that, especially with directories, it's going to take a little bit of time regardless for that to for the juices to kind of start flowing in that direction. Whether you do it now or next month really isn't going to matter. The big thing that's going to matter is the fact that if people do search for you and they see a different address, then that's probably going to cause confusion, and that will be a little more frustrating than what good would probably come out of it. So I would probably wait until January to do all that if you can. Couple more here. Let's see. What do you think about Pinterest or Instagram type of sites? So actually, I like Instagram a lot. I personally have Instagram. I think it's great just because it's a great way to post images, and you don't really have to do much other than that. I mean, a lot of times with social media, you kind of try to figure, if you don't put an image in, you're trying to figure out kind of words to put down. Well, Instagram is great because, a picture's worth 1,000 words, and you can just pretty much put a picture. You can put a few hashtags, and it's great. great. People can kind of really see what's going on with just a picture. Pinterest is kind of the same way. Now, it depends on your industry because I'm just going to use vets as an example. Vets are extremely easy to do on picture websites because everybody loves puppies and kittens and all cute little animals and stuff, and it's really easy. For dentists, might be a little different because I'm sure people will love to look at, nice veneers or something like that, but it's a little bit different. It's not like puppies or anything like that, They can probably post things that are funny, little comical things for dental. When it comes to chiropractic, there's a lot of comical things for chiropractic as well. Nice little proverbs, things like that. I know a lot of chiropractors like to do wellness and they like to eat healthy and things like that, so you can maybe post recipes on Pinterest or Instagram and people can follow you that way. I do definitely see it as being beneficial, but it's not one of those things that you should spend a whole bunch of your time on. Now, Instagram does actually integrate. Sorry, it integrates. It integrates with Facebook and actually a lot of the other social media sites as well. So you can post on there and you can have it link up to your Facebook, and that's actually a great way, again, to hit two birds with one stone. As long as if you want a hashtag, if you want to put some text, whatever, with the image, that you do that if you're syncing it to Facebook as well. Because Facebook, again, you can just put images, but Facebook's also a great way to have the text there. So I would consider doing it both if you're going to do Instagram as well, and then just have it sync up with your other social sites going forward. Okay, so here's a good question. So I need to change my phone number on my website. Will that hurt me for coming up on Google? As long as you change it across the board. Now, the thing is, if you have different phone number on your website as opposed to your directories and things like that and social media sites, that will kind of hurt you because it's considered what they call NAP, which is name, address, phone number. That's the three biggest things that they worry about when it comes to an online identity. And if you have something that's different that doesn't match up, they're going to kind of look at you kind of like, okay, what's going on here? This doesn't really match. Is this really your business? They start to question things and so on and so forth. So I would say if you're going to change your phone number on the website, to change it across the board on all your directories, on all your social media sites. If you're just going to have like a call tracking number or whatnot, I would put that in an image. So if you have a banner, put your phone number in the banner or put it in an image that isn't text. It's the text itself that Google reads that will be considered for your NAP, will be considered for your phone number across the board. So you can have one phone number if it still works. So keep in mind, make sure you have a phone number that works because people are going to call it. That's text somewhere on the phone, on the website. That's fine as long as it's the same and consistent across the board. If you have another number, let's just say that is part of a coupon or part of your banner that's a call tracking number or whatever it may be, that's fine because it's in the image itself and Google can't really read the words on the image. They can read the image but not the words on the image. So that's actually a great workaround if you want to use a different number. Great question here. So how do I go about writing a blog? And whoops, here we go. And should that be part of my website? How can I use to help people find me? Well, a blog is actually a huge, huge part of your website presence. I definitely would encourage you, if you don't have a blog, to get a blog. We actually do offer an iTool called iBlog here. You can ask an internet consultant or you can call into support. Actually, support can flip the switch really quick and get you set up with that. And we also offer it with a lot of our other services that comes part of it. You actually get all the iTools with it. Blog is essential because it's continuous content. It's actually content that gets refreshed constantly, and it's one of those things where if you don't have time to refresh pages of content on your website, if you want to do a short blog that's a couple hundred words, once a week or once a month even, that's fine if you do it once a month. That actually keeps your website consistent and it keeps it refreshed, and Google actually has a refresh factor that they look into when they are looking at websites to see if this website's gone stale or if this website's still continually being updated. Nobody wants to see a #1 result on page 1 of a website that's not been updated for 4 years. That's kind of Google's stand behind it. So if you are constantly at least refreshing it and showing activity, they're going to consider you to still be active and consider you in your spot or even increase your spot even higher. So if you have any questions about that or any other tools like that, we have, e-cards, we have iBlog, which is a great blogging tool. We have a lot of great different tools. Definitely give us a call. We can set you up with those. They're really quick. They're just a flip of a switch, and you'll be set up pretty much instantly with it, and then they can show you how to do all that. one last question here. Let's see. Cool. Okay, great. So what venue do you use as the connector to all the social media sites when you place one post? So there's a couple apps that you can actually look into on Facebook that will allow you to essentially kind of RSS feed things to other platforms. Like, for instance, you can have your Facebook post go to Twitter post. I don't believe it will actually sync up with Google Plus just because I know Twitter and Facebook are in cahoots kind of thing. I mean, they work really close with each other. But for instance, Instagram, Pinterest, those kind of things, they can all tie in with each other. And sometimes the platform itself actually will allow you to connect, and you can click on all the different platforms, like Instagram, for instance. You can click on the different ones that you want to have it post to, and it'll post it directly to those, and it'll post to all of them. Facebook, for instance, if you want, you can search for something called RSS Graffiti. I think it's still around. It should be, hopefully. It was in beta last time I saw it, but beta 2.0, I believe. But it's actually a great program, or a great little app. And Facebook has a ton of different apps. It's called RSS Graffiti. So let me go ahead and type this out so everyone has it, because I know this is something that some people are pretty interested in. There we go. And just type it in. You can even just type in RSS, and you'll start to see different apps pull up. And it's an app. It's kind of like a Apple app on your iPhone, or an Android app on your phone as well, on your tablet or whatever. It's an app on Facebook, and it's a third-party app, so it's supported in a sense by Facebook, but it's not directly supported by Facebook. It's supported by the third party that created the app. So if there's any issues with it, don't get mad at Facebook. They just have it on their platform. They actually have their own, each app has their own support team that you can contact and all that other stuff. But it's a great app. It allows you to essentially, what you can do, and it goes even further than just social media, you can actually have blog posts from your website sync directly to your Facebook, and you can actually, and this is within Facebook, you can sync it directly to your Facebook so that when you write a blog on your website, it'll, boom, then post it on your Facebook page, and then you can have that, in essence, sync to your Twitter page. So you can pretty much hit 3 birds with 1 stone. Great time saver. It's awesome. It works, I'd say, 95% of the time. Reason being is because I believe it's still in beta. I don't know why it's in beta. It's kind of like Gmail was in beta for 8 years, kind of thing. I mean, I was using that forever. But it's definitely a good tool to use. If you don't know how to use it, we can help set you up with that. A lot of our clients that we help out with, we help set them up with that, just because blogging on your website helps with your website, and then if you can post on your social media, it also helps out with that as well. So it's free. There's no cost to it. You can actually check it out. A lot of the apps on Facebook are free. There might be some that cost money, but this one is absolutely free, and definitely check it out. And again, there's other apps out there that I'm sure are coming down the pipeline that I haven't even looked into. I don't look into apps all the time on Facebook, but those are the ones that definitely do work, and it is beneficial. They have little tutorials on it as well. And if you have any questions on how to even do that, give us a call, again, 1-800-iMatrix, or you can even actually go to YouTube and search for how to use it. They actually have their support videos on there on how to set that stuff up. But we will definitely help set that up for you. If you don't have time to watch the YouTube video, we'll just set it up for you and help you out. Okay, so yeah, I wanted to go ahead and say thank you again for everyone who attended. I'm going to have to cut it short here. Or it's not really short. We almost went the full hour. But I do want to say thank you for all of your questions. It was very beneficial, I'm sure, to a lot of other people that couldn't think of the question at the time. If you are interested and curious on how to set some of these things up and get started on your marketing plan, we are more than happy to help you out. Give us a call, 1-800-iMatrix. Feel free to go to iMatrix.com. You should see a button there. It says get special pricing or free demo or whatnot. Go ahead and click on it. We'll go ahead and help you out there. And if you want, we can definitely give you a free consultation on what you need to do to get started and kind of evaluate your website if you aren't too sure where to start or where you need improvement on. So again, I want to say thank you for everyone, and hopefully you guys have a wonderful day.